Hey everyone, it's Caleb from Brickloaf, and today we're going to be looking at a Rebrickable of set 31109, the 3-in-1 Creator Pirate Ship, done by Arkatreides. The MOC is called the Avenging Mermaid, which combines two of the 31109 sets into one larger ship, and you can find this on Rebrickable for free. One quick disclaimer is that I have changed a few little details about the ship. I'll point them out as we go, and I do plan to change a few more things. There were a decent amount of pieces left over, so I'm going to try to work with them to see what else I can add to the ship. But let's go ahead and get started. So the ship on the left is the Avenging Mermaid MOC, and the ship on the right is the official Lego 3-in-1 version of the set. What I like about the MOC is that a lot of the features that show up on the standard build of the ship show up in the MOC, and I really like how they didn't try to make it an entirely different ship. They tried to actually extend it and make it longer, make it taller, and keep those big features that you can recognize from the first one. You may see some figures that aren't actually part of this set. That's because I've just added them so that you can see how this MOC looks when you're using it for display. Now, before we look just at the MOC, I want to point out some of the features that are shared between the two sets. First off, you can see the little gun ports here on both sides have the same little design and build. That didn't change, as well as the sides of the ships, the front and back corners. This little edge here of the captain's cabin actually reappears over here in the set. It doesn't open up, but it does become part of the larger cabin. Additionally, the interior of the captain's cabin, while bigger, features some of the same features like the table and the chair. You can see these in the original ship as well. The rails of the ship, the front of the ship, the figurehead, and the sails are either taken directly from the original ship and brought onto the MOC, or they're translated in some way to make it fit the larger ship. What's cool especially about the figurehead is that it does take the standard 3-in-1 Creator figurehead, and it puts swords in its hand, making it the Avenging Mermaid, which is really cool. I like how they did that little touch. Other than that, we're going to go ahead and look at the MOC specifically, just to get a little bit more of the details from it. So starting with the front of the ship, we've got the mermaid figurehead that I mentioned. The front of the ship, like I said, is built the same exact way it is in the original. The sails are pretty much the same, the railing's pretty much the same. It did change slightly. You can see that the deck is actually raised there where the front mast is. That is the same idea, but it's just larger, like I said. And there's a crow's nest up top. Along the sides, you can see you've got the rigging holding it up. And on this side, you've got the anchor, which does turn up and down. You can raise it and lower it. Now, there's a lot going on in the middle section. You can see here the raised deck that I told you about. There's a little ladder built here. They can't stand on it, obviously, but it is made to look like a little ladder. And you can turn this little knob here, and it will raise a portion of the deck so that you can access more of the cannons, more of the storage of the ship. I actually really like this. It wasn't on the original set because it was too small, but I really love this edition. I think it was a really great design, and it fits perfectly with the middle mast there. You can see it lines up, and the set did come with 4 cannons, so I put them all on one side like it's doing a battle. You can put the figure down there. Here's the main mast. It's got the rigging, it's super tall, and I added this flag up on top that wasn't there on the original. And down below also, you can lift this little flap, and there is enough room in there for you to stick a little storage chest. This is another feature that wasn't in the original set, and I really like how they added that because it is a pirate ship. Now, before we look at the entire back, there is the steering wheel here on the deck near the rear entrance, and you can see in between the posts there holding up the top, there is an entrance to the captain's quarters. We'll look at that in a minute. And on the right side, there is another ladder build. It's very similar to the one in the front, just a little bit wider and longer. Looking at the top, the railing does continue up, and you can see they've used those little telescope pieces to form a little handrail there. The very back of the ship has the same rudder build as the original. The cabin continues with the same style, though this flap does open, and the interior is very similar, like I said earlier, to the one in the original. You can see a cannon on the left side coming out of the rear of the ship. We'll look at that in just a moment when we look at the very back. And up top, you can see more of the railing continuing. The back mast is here. I'm not a huge fan of the sail design. I am going to change that. And you can see this little table here for the officer is a new addition as well. That's not in the original build. And I did make it a little map chart using pieces that remained from the original sets. You've got 2 lanterns on the side and this little back portion, which I added another small little flag to. Like the original set, you can lift this back up so that you can access the captain's cabin. It doesn't lift up entirely, but it is enough for you to put some characters in there and make a little scene. I'm really impressed by the back design of this ship. It's a skull very similar to the one of the Skull Island build that you can do, but it is very different, and I like how they added this to the back of the ship. It really makes it look like an awesome pirate ship. You can see that the cannon that I told you, which is in the captain's cabin, does come out of the mouth, which can open and close. And I think this design is fantastic because you can obviously tell it's a skeleton. And I really love how they incorporated something from one of the other 3-in-1s into this ship, and I think that the back part of the ship also looks like a hat on top of it as well. I think it's an overall really cool design. I hope you enjoyed this video. We're really happy to add this to our pirate section, which we're continuously working on. If you like this video, please like it, comment down below what you think of this MOC, and be sure to check out this build on Rebrickable.